Yeah, we've got the 400 to go, sorry. He hasn't got much time to get ice on that, has he? I'm writing off the evening before it's even got there. 4 events gone, not 5. Kevin Mayer, the leader, by only 11 points from Damien Warner and Lyndon Victor in third.
Well, I didn't think Lyndon Victor was going to move up that much, but that is nice and close. Kevin Mayer definitely gave up just a little bit in that shot put to Lyndon Victor. You see the difference in points there. 36-21, 36-10, 35-91 striking distance for both second and third place. Damien Warner will run probably a better 400 meters than Kevin Mayer.
So we have track action remaining. 3 heats of the men's decathlon 400 meters. Kevin Mayer, Damien Warner will go in the last of those 3 heats. Seeded on time. The first of those 3 coming up right now. So from the outside, we see Martin Røy of Norway. Season's best of 49.90. Novak of Germany, Tim Novak. He's a sub-49 second runner. Basil now was a non-starter in lane 7. Kyosuke Oshiro of Japan. These athletes currently down the field. Novak, we just saw a moment ago, in 13th position overall. Røy in 16th position overall. Now, Marcel Weibo is currently in 5th overall. 400 meters, not necessarily one of his strong points, despite the fact he's married to arguably the world's greatest 400-meter runner. Thomas van der Platsen, who had an excellent high jump. He currently finds himself overall, he lifted himself up to 17th position. Skurenyov, who is going well in the overall competition, the authorised neutral athlete. He is in 6th position in the overall standings. And the second of the Estonian athletes in this field, in the top 10 in the overall standings, Yannick Oiglan. So 400 metres decathlon, heat 1 of 3. The fastest on paper in this heat is Skurenyov with 47.88. So away they go. Marcel Weibo particularly will be looking to turn in a strong 400-meter performance here, given that he's in 5th position overall, and this would be one of his weaker events. As they make their way down the back, Novak, one from the outside for Germany. Gone out quickly, right up on the shoulder of Martin Røy outside him. Weibo's gone pretty steadily through the first 200 meters. Right on the inside, Oglane, the other of the Estonian athletes, has come through to undertake a couple of athletes outside him, but it's still Tim Novak of Germany who leads them into the straight. 48.9 runner. Oglane of Estonia on the inside. Weibo starting to power through past a couple of runners towards the back of the field. Novak tying right up, and it will be Oglane from Skurenyov who will take those first 2 positions. Weibo finished strongly for very close, potentially 3rd, but possibly 4th, 49.15, the winning time for Oglane of Estonia.
Well, that's a big personal best for him. He got started well in the 100 meters as well, recorded a personal best there, but that's a PB and a seasonal best. Skurenyov, 49.36, Tim Novak, 49.60. Novak was the winner of the Thorpe Cup last year, USA versus Germany meet, here competing in the senior event for the first time.
Well, Novak was running in quicksand by the end of it, wasn't he, having gone very, very hard over the first 200 metres. A hard 200 metres plus 4 other events coming to pay the price by the end, but that lifetime best for Oglane, right on the inside, but Novak here coming into the straight was the leader, and just watch him go backwards.
Well, this is such a difficult race when you run it just individually, but all of a sudden you put it after 4 events that you did right before it. This is where I stress the most. It was those moments leading into the 400 meters. Even when I knew I was ready, it still was very, very difficult. You're just under so much pressure and so much strain. you know you're going to have to take your body into places you've never gone before. So I feel for these guys, I really do.
And Dan O'Brien has been there, absolutely been there. The pain of the 400 meters on the end of day one.
But I will say, if you run a little faster, it doesn't hurt as much.
It's interesting to ask your views on the schedule. We mentioned it earlier on about the schedule for the 110 hurdlers and sprinters having to come through 2 rounds, but without a gap in between the session, like you would normally come through for a morning session and then have a bit of a breather between sessions and have the evening session. Here, although they've spaced it out as much as they can, this is, I mean, you've been here 8 hours, we've been on air, well, the best part of 7 hours rather, but there's no session break between the two.
I like this better. This is more like an invitational decathlon that you would go to, Gutsis, or the Decastar meet, and the break just, I think, makes your day longer. You know, I don't like a 12-hour day. Give me a 7 or an 8-hour day. Keep it moving. I can get out of here. I can get to bed. I can sleep in a little bit, and then start my day tomorrow.
Confirmation of that result in heat 1 of 3 then. 855 points, that lifetime best for Oglani was worth. 844 points for Shukrenyov in second, and Novak picked up 833 for his season's best in third. Athletes on the track for the second of the heats. Reminder, the protagonists in the overall standings going in the last of the heats. Only Lyndon Victor, who's in the bronze medal position, finds himself in this heat. Third overall, Simmons and Brown, who will be on the inside lanes in this heat, in 7th and 8th positions. So although the top 2 positions, Warner and Meyer, go in the final heat, there is certainly those in medal contention will go in this second heat, and Lyndon Victor in 3rd position will be looking to make sure he ends the day in those medal positions. Solomon Simmons, 49.22, just outside his lifetime best with what he's produced so far this season. But certainly an intriguing heat coming up involving Kevin Mayer, because we saw him clutch his knee at the end of the high jump, so we will get a pretty immediate indication of how fit he is going to be in the third of the heats. So athletes getting themselves into position. Brown of the Netherlands going through every part of his pre-race ritual. The stadium's still recovering, I think, from that exciting, exhilarating, eventful men's 110 metres hurdles final, won by Grant Holloway of the US. There is Lyndon Victor, drawn in lane 8 here. Again, tough in the 400 to be run on the outside without knowing what's happening. But of course, the one thing about the decathlon is you're not so worried about other people necessarily at this stage of the competition. You're running against the clock. You
really are, and that's the one thing to keep in mind. I'll tell you what, I like what Lyndon Victor has done today. We got a shot of him. He's 5th in the world rankings, but he's 3rd today. But he's just found a home in Santa Barbara, training at Westmont College with Thomas Fitzsimons, Josh Priester there. He's got a number of different people he's training with, and believe it or not, this guy couldn't find a place to train. Nobody would welcome him. He can't get the job done in Grenada, so he and his brother are now living in Santa Barbara. And there's somebody who we are definitely going to hear from tomorrow. That's Nicholas Call. He's a big thrower, big discus, big pole vault guy, and absolutely a big javelin guy. He didn't get the start he wanted today. Let's see if he can finish strong. He's clear back in 12th position.
Yeah, exciting things from Nicholas Call in the javelin, potentially. There's 1 or 2 people marking down the all-time decathlon record in the javelin, which we'll talk more about tomorrow, which stands at 79 meters 80, and that has stood for about 27 years. Here is Lyndon Victor representing Grenada, but as Dan O'Brien has just told you, US-based these days. Wislek of Poland. He goes in lane 7. Tim Duckworth of Great Britain, who would have been in medal contention, I'm sure. Unfortunately not able to start the competition with a minor injury. Said it was a tough decision, as we see Jaramillo of Venezuela in 5. Here is Nicholas Call, world ranked number 8 overall. Now we see Peter Brown of the Netherlands, and finally Solomon Simmons of the US on the inside.
Well, a great opportunity for all of these guys to improve their personal best. Good track, great situation. It is late at night, almost 11:30 at night here in Doha. But the athlete with the best 400-meter seed time coming in is Yaramillo from Venezuela. This guy is big, but he can run the 400 meters.
Heat 2 of 3 then. The decathlon 400 meters.
Set.
We'll keep an eye out for Yaramillo. He's got the empty lane just outside him, the Venezuelan. Victor has gone out reasonably well, one from the outside in the green and red, but it is Yaramillo down the back straight, who's already closing up on Wieslik of Poland outside him. Yaramillo has run a strong 200 meters here. And we saw Novak do the same in the first heat. Can Yaramillo have the strength to see it through the line? Victor still going well on the outside for Grenada. Between them, Wieslik of Poland, and it's these three. Cole of Germany trying to get himself into it as well. Victor looking strong down the home straight as Yaramillo starts to tie up. Cole on his inside, Victor on the outside. Strong finish from the Grenadan, but it will be Cole of Germany who takes it from Victor as Yaramillo ran out of gas and finished third. The winning time, 48.49.
Well, that'll be a seasonal best for Victor Linder and Nicholas Call. 48.48 for Call. You saw him really make a move in that last 100. Lyndon Victor as well. And I'm always thinking, if you guys had that much strength to make a move, then you should have run the first part of the race just a little bit faster. A lot of guys just hang out till 300 meters and then they want to finish strong. A nice finish by Call. Good job by Lyndon Victor. You came here to get a seasonal best. You have to run your best races at the World Championships. Here we see the start. Lyndon Victor, long stroking strides out of the blocks. But these guys have to pace themselves. This is a long ways for guys this big. Yaramillo did a good job, but he just couldn't hang on. I always wanted to run to the 300-meter mark and just hold on. This is not a distance that these athletes cover on a very regular basis. They'll run 300s, 200s. Very rarely will you step this out to 400 meters.
Well, a good run from Victor in the context of keeping himself right in the medal shake-up. Call, though, coming through to take it in that time of 48.48 rounded down. He picked up 886 points for that. Victor, 883 for his run of 48.55. And Yaramillo, 877 points for the 48.66 clocking. As we see, Nicholas Call, the 21-year-old European under-23 champion. World Youth, World Junior and European Junior titles over the last few years. And that European under-23 title earlier on this year as well. He's actually ranked 6th in Germany at the javelin, down overall. And we know how powerful Germany are on the javelin. That's saying something, isn't it?
It absolutely is. I was surprised when I saw the results for that under-23 World Championship, 77 meters. I thought that's a typo, but this guy is an absolute dynamo on the second day, and he had a wonderful battle with the Georgian sophomore, the NCAA championship, Johannes Erm from Estonia, who just is taking time off. School has started, and he wanted to just prepare for the Olympic Games in 2020.
So this is a very interesting heat coming up here, because Kevin Mayer, who is, of course, the world record holder, but not currently the event leader. Yes, he is currently the event leader, sorry. Your bit of paper's confusing me, Dan, because you've got 1 and 2 written on it, but you're writing down the times, aren't you, rather than the time rankings for 400, rather than the overall positions. It is late at night, we can allow ourselves, we've got bits of paper everywhere here. Kevin Mayer is the event leader. He is currently 11 points ahead of Damien Warner going into this final event. Lyndon Victor, before this one, was in third with 3.591. Pierce Lepage in fourth. So 3 of the top 4 go in this final heat. But the question mark, of course, Dan, is we saw Kevin Mayer clutch his knee with his final high jump attempt.
You know, during a decathlon, you feel all kinds of crazy things. He got off the pit. He looked like he was able to walk back to his crew without any assistance, that's for sure. you want a world championship, you got to fight for it. You know, I can't tell you how many times I was banged up, hurt, thought I was injured, thought I couldn't continue. But when you think about getting to the end, that's part of it. The Team Zenkamp from Germany, it means many struggles, many battles. You got to fight for a world championship in this particular event. And if you're not willing to fight for it, you know what? You can't stand up there and get the gold medal.
I'm not sure I'd have made a decathlete. A little runny nose and I'd take a day off work. I'd be terrible. I'd be awful. Here's Damian Warner. He's seen it all and done it all. And still only 29. I say that with the greatest of respect. He's been around a long time. Damian Warner, 2 World Championship medals, Olympic bronze medalist in Rio 2016, World Indoor silver medalist in the heptathlon in Birmingham in 2018 as well. Solid championship level performer. And the closest rival really for Kevin Mayer here in Doha.
Well, this is an opportunity certainly for Damian Warner to put some points, to put a little distance between himself, to put a little distance between him and daylight, between him and Kevin Mayer for tomorrow. Because he does have a better personal best. I'd like to see him really dig down deep. He's run 47.38. Pierce Lepage 47.74. These guys can really help each other. If Pierce can go out hard, I know he's got kind of a banged up knee as well, but the Canadians could make a move on the rest of the field right here.
So it's our final action here on day 6 of the IAAF World Championships here in Doha. There's the third of 3 heats in the men's 400 meters decathlon as we reach the halfway point in that event. Damian Warner, just a last-minute bit of administration. Having your shoelaces undone is not an ideal way to run a World Championship race. As we see Devon Williams
having kind of a quiet day. We'll see how he can start tomorrow off. Good 400 meters here, good start tomorrow in the hurdles, could really change things around for him.
Well, Pierce Lepage was one of those who also was limping around after the high jump. Here's Kevin Mayer then, 48.26, his best here. Damian Warner, as we mentioned, is a couple of seconds faster on paper. The pair only separated by 11 points in the overall standings. Kai Kazmarek, 46.75 runner in the overall standings. Kazmarek currently down in 9th position. The first of the Williams in the US team in this heat, Harrison Williams, sandwiched by the Canadian Damian Warner, the world leader, hence why he's got his yellow bib on. But of course, Kevin Mayer hasn't contested a full decathlon this year prior to today. Devon Williams of the USA is a 48-second man. Vitaly Zhuk of Belarus is nearer 48 seconds. And the final man we'll see will be the Australian Cedric Dubler, the Commonwealth Games bronze medalist on the inside. So the final event of the day. Keep an eye on the clock between Warner and Mayer. That will be interesting. 1.7 seconds, the difference between their personal bests in Warner's favour.
Well, 3 guys have personal best in the 46 seconds. We'll see if somebody can rise to the occasion and challenge their personal best. Harrison Williams has gone 46, Kai Kazmarek has gone 46, and Damian Warner has gone in the 46s.
The decathletes digging deep in Doha as we reach the halfway point of their World Championship. 1 lap of the track. So Damian Warner right in the centre in lane 5. Kevin Mayer one from the outside in blue. Mayer's gone out, Warner's gone out strongly, as has Harrison Williams of the USA, and also Kazmarek of Germany. Kazmarek probably the leader at this stage. He's towing Harrison Williams along with him, but it's Kazmarek coming up on the inside of Lepage of Canada, right on the outside. Damian Warner will look to come strong in the second half of the race. He's run it relatively conservatively through the first 100 as Kazmarek straightens up for home in the lead. Lepage on the outside. Now Damian Warner looking to find something. Harrison Williams there. Damian Warner possibly not finding what we expected him to find as he grits his teeth. Lepage, the other Canadian, is finding something and might have just pipped Kazmarek. Very close on the line. Kevin Mayer comes in last of the finishers. 47.35, the winning time.
Well, that was a nice move on the outside by Pierce Lepage. he'll have a seasonal best and probably a personal best. He really made a nice move with 100 meters to go. He opened up that long stride. He let those long legs carry him to a second place finish there. I'll tell you what, these guys are tired, and I think about the schedule. There is 47, they gave it exact same time for both competitors, 47:35, personal best for Lepage. Kai Kazmarek was very courageous to lead that race, but man, these guys are tired. That is as tired as I've seen Damian Warner, and I wonder if this changed format, this changed schedule with no break in the middle of the day is really affecting these guys that much.
Well, certainly they were all out at the end there. The facials from Damian Warner in the home straight, as we thought he might come through, but really when he asked for his petrol tank to provide some fuel, there was nothing there. Kazmarek really digging in. Lepage actually looks relatively comfortable compared to some of the others down the outside.
Well, I think it took him a few meters down the home straight before he realized he still feels pretty good. He put the burners on with about 50 meters to go. I think he could have started his kick a little bit earlier, but man, these guys have been working so hard all day long. And you know what? You're right. This is a relatively short amount of time to have a world championship on the first day. So, you know, I think the schedule change has really affected everybody. I thought we'd get a better run from Devin Williams, Harrison Williams, and Damian Warner, all three of them.
Well, the action started just after 4:30 local time this afternoon. Here we are at just after 11:30 local time in Doha. So across 7 hours, they've had 5 events. But normally they'd be spread between 2 different sessions. It was a lifetime best for Pierce Lepage in the decathlon 400, 47:35, which got him 941 points, exactly the same as Kai Kazmarek, 47:35 as well. As we confirm that result for you. Damian Warner's 48.12 got him 903. Bottom of the list, Kevin Mayer, 48.99, got him 862 points. So Damian Warner picking up 31 points on Kevin Mayer. And that has led to some interesting changes in the overall standings. As we crunch the numbers, we'll bring that for you in just a moment on screen. In fact, we'll do that right now. And it will show you that Kevin Mayer, as a result of that 400 metres, although it being a season's best of 48.99, has actually seen him slip down the rankings. In fact, before we see that, we're going to go back to the first heat of the men's 400 metres, because Martin Roe of Norway has managed to run out of his lane. There, right on the outside, and so is disqualified, but subject to appeal, of course.
Well, that's too bad. You know better. You've got to stay off that line, but it's so tough running out there in lane 8. He took 1 stride, 2 strides. He looked like he was almost in the other lane. That definitely warrants a disqualification.
Well, that is how the decathlon stands at the halfway point. Damian Warner of Canada leads the way from his compatriot Pierce Lepage as a result of that excellent 400 metres. Kevin Mayer slightly below par in the 400 metres, down in 3rd position ahead of Lyndon Victor, but just 39 points overnight separate the top 4, Dan O'Brien.
This is going to be interesting. We'll see these guys come back tomorrow. I think they're going to be plenty tired, definitely sore. But here we take a look at how the points were distributed over the 5 events today. Kevin Mayer got off to a fantastic start, good 100. One of the best long jumps of the day. Pierce Lepage actually wins the long jump, but Kevin Mayer had the 2nd best shot put. And then he high jumped pretty well, not as high as he jumped in the world record. But there's Pierce Lepage, 45.13 after day 1.
So that is the conclusion of our action here in the Khalifa Stadium, and what a night it has been here at the World Championships.